So today let's answer one of life's biggest questions, and no, it's not how I maintain this luscious beard, it's of course regarding the 2021 iPad Pros and whether they're still on track for a March release. And well guys, I come bearing great news because we have evidence that could suggest the iPad Pros are in production as we speak and could of course release in the next few weeks. But also, let's delve into some possible camera upgrades we could expect too. Well, we'll delve into all of it, so make sure to like and subscribe, be a part of the buttification squad. And with that being said, let's just tuck in. Right, so our first tidbit comes from Dwanri, who is a Twitter page that curates a lot of leaks and rumors he finds on Chinese sites like Weibo. But anyways, this mobile phone film factory, I think they make screen protectors and cases, they have apparently data and molds for the iPad Pro 11-inch and 12.9-inch that should be launching very soon. Now, of course, you might wonder, what does this mean for us? Well, of course, a lot of Apple's supply chain and of course production of their products is based in China, and so this guy having data and molds of the device leads me to believe he has some inside connections that could be producing the iPad Pro, and so these molds are based on the dimensions used in the factories. In addition to this, I also did some cheeky web browsing and found a few cases on Amazon for the 2021 iPad Pros, and if there's one thing I've learnt from in the past, case manufacturers have always known when products will release, and so yeah, I'm inclined to believe that the March release date is still happening and we should expect it very, very soon. But yes, that is pretty much more confirmation for the March release. Let's now delve into the camera upgrades we could possibly expect with the next iPad Pro. So what do we know so far? Well, there really are only two tidbits regarding the cameras, which of course I've covered in previous videos. You can check out in the iCard above. But essentially, Mark Gurman has simply stated the cameras are getting better. And then of course we had some CAD renders from 91 Mobile showcasing a smaller camera bump with lenses that don't stick out as much. Now, I have a feeling, I have an inkling, that if Apple is going to go to the lengths of redesigning and tweaking the camera bump ever so slightly, then surely they're going to give us some camera upgrades. And of course, I have three possibilities on what this could be. So the first possibility is pretty straightforward, to be honest, and that is sprucing up the existing camera layout. Now yes, I know that the iPad's cameras don't have to be as good as their iPhone counterparts, but of course in the past, Apple has used the same sensors on their most expensive iPhones in their most expensive iPads too. And so I was pretty surprised to see the 2020 models came with a worse ultra-wide. They had a 10 megapixel sensor compared to the 12 megapixel sensor on the iPhone 12. And yes, I know that megapixel count isn't everything, but clearly in the shots I've seen of this ultra-wide, the sensor itself is inferior and the quality is noticeably worse. And so yes, I'm pretty sure the 2021 iPad Pro refresh should get the better ultra-wide that of course we've seen on the iPhone 11 and iPhone 12. So yes, the one guy at the back taking pictures with the ultra-wide sensor on the iPad Pro, this should be a substantial improvement. Not only that, but the iPhone 12 did see a wider aperture on the main sensor, and so I can see Apple bringing that over to, of course, the 2021 iPad Pro. However, my second possibility with the camera upgrades on the 2021 iPad Pro could be for those telephoto fans out there, because yes, there is a good chance we could see a triple lens camera on this year's iPad Pro. Now, weirdly enough, back in 2019, we had a lot of evidence suggesting a triple lens camera was coming to the iPad Pro. In fact, we had actual models of the triple lens system and we had renders from credible sources like OnLeaks, so we were pretty sure of it happening with the 2020 refresh, but then we got LiDAR for some reason, even though it's a huge, massive gimmick. So yes, I would rather have a telephoto sensor, and I'm thinking that maybe the initially planned triple lens system is coming to the 2021 refresh. Especially since we can assume Apple had supply constraints when releasing the 2020 models in the peak of COVID-19, I'm pretty sure that maybe it was a last-minute decision to, of course, ditch the triple lens camera we heard about in the leaks and go for a dual lens system instead. But assuming things are better with the supply chain, it is plausible that the 2021 iPad Pro comes with a triple lens system instead. In fact, with all this talk about a new Magic Keyboard, which of course I've covered in a previous video you can check out in the iCard above, I do think maybe a reason we're seeing a new Magic Keyboard could be due to a larger camera bump, and maybe they are taking the 12 Pro's camera system and just bringing it over to the iPad Pro. So yes, some pretty overkill stuff to say the least, but of course Apple needs as many upgrades as they can get to flex in the marketing, and so yeah, I can expect some pretty meaty camera upgrades on the back of this year's iPad Pro. But by far, the upgrade I want to see is Apple move the bloody selfie camera to, of course, a landscape orientation instead. So of course, in this age of Zooming and Skyping, do people still Skype? I don't know, but video conferencing, we of course rely on the selfie camera pretty much 24/7, and having it in the most awkward position possible was a terrible idea by Apple. Please, just move it. It's not even that hard. Just move it and it will change many people's lives, including mine, because my face right now looks like this on a Zoom call and it's terrible. I don't think people want to see that, so please, Apple, change it. It's so easy. It will actually change people's lives. So yes, just do it. Now, unlike the other things I mentioned, there really is no evidence of this happening, and so this is a wild speculation on my part. But with Apple focusing and honing down on the work from home market, because clearly it's having a boom, I think upgrading the iPad Pro selfie camera and particularly moving the position of the camera will actually improve sales, in my opinion, because I know a lot of people who want this feature, and tell me in the comments below if you want this change too, because I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys do. And on that note, thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, be a part of the Buttification squad. Check out a video here in the icon above about some other iPad Pro rumors that might intrigue you. And on that note, I'll see you guys in the next one. See you, peeps.